For reviews, I think there should be a process for the technician to, like, in person, face to face, right after the job is done, be like, hey, it would mean a lot if you could write me this review. Maybe they have a QR code. Maybe they just like pull it up on their phone. Like, I think they should stand there and wait for the customer to like finish writing the review and then like send them pictures to add to the review because those add more points. Do you think that there's ever going to be a way to automate that has a higher success rate than a technician? Or do you think that should just be a face-to-face interaction at the end of the job? What's your thoughts there?
Yeah, so it depends on the niche. Some people, service delivery, like when you do delivery, you are actually in front of the client and you can't beat that, because what happens is if you've done a really good job, you've had a really positive experience, the person's already excited to leave you a review, and now they have positive peer pressure. Like, you're standing there in front of them. They're going to be like, yeah, I want this guy to leave now. I'll leave you a review. Sure. So you're probably not going to beat that as far as effectiveness. I think that your best bet is, yes, do reviews in person if possible. And then right below that would be you manually texting somebody from your personal cell phone. Bonus points if it's an iPhone, because people love blue bubbles. Then right below that would be automating it. And then down at the bottom is just not asking for reviews, because that one does not work. I promise you will not get good reviews regularly if you do that one.
What do you think is more important, the number of 5-star reviews or the frequency of 5-star reviews on a Google business profile?
The frequency. I would call it review velocity, but regular reviews are better than having a perfect 5-star rating, in my opinion. I've had clients freak out after getting one negative review, and a lot of times what happens if you get a negative review, if you go read it, the average consumer reads that review and they're like, this person is effing insane. Like, what happened here? Especially if you respond politely back to the person and don't try to argue with them. Yeah, the average consumer doesn't care if you have one negative review. In fact, most people go look for that review to see how you handle conflict. And then once they realize you handle it well, you're like, all right, cool, let's go with this one.
And how do you think home service business owners should make sure that they are getting frequent reviews on their Google business profile?
Biggest thing is just ask, man. I've got clients that do really well with this, and they regularly ask reviews because they listen when I've explained, hey, this is really important. And then I've got other ones that are not placing a huge importance on it, and they've gotten really lucky up to this point that they've got a strong brand and they're still dominating Google Maps without it. But if you're talking to an average consumer and they find you organically, right, and you've been in business for 30 years and you got 12 reviews, well, that's a problem. I look at a company like that and I say, if they've been in business for 30 years and they've got 12 reviews, then something weird's going on here. This doesn't give me warm, fuzzy feelings. So almost every marketing question can be answered by saying it depends. But generally speaking, like, you have to explain how important it is to the client to get the reviews, because I would say it's an important signal to Google that you are a strong brand to recommend to people.